All right, that's way better. Okay, so I have my view and I have my paper. Let's see. I'll get a feel for it. We'll do kind of like an initial sketch. And if you're wondering why the creepy statue, it's because it fell and broke off. But turning a kind of like a portrait, like if you're trying to draw someone's portrait, turn it sideways or upside down, you actually draw it just fine. Because your brain tries to help you out by interpreting the face. Okay. Let's see if we can get sort of like an idea of where things are. Gotta think about how much of the shadow I want to include. I wonder if I could side size this. Nah. It gets wider than that. I need a little paper towel. There we go. So if you've never done charcoal drawing, it's actually a really good sort of like step before painting. And I have a couple of things coming tomorrow, which is why I'm not going to get too involved in this tonight. I have a thing of charcoal powder, and you can actually use paintbrushes to kind of paint the super dark stuff. Save yourself some time. And then some like paper torsions, they call them, and a couple other things. An eraser. I think that's about right. Okay, and are you able to see that more or less? Now it looks like a piece of paper. Okay. So the style of drawing I'm doing is block-in style. I'm not very good at it, so. And the reason I'm doing it is I sort of realized it helps a lot with like 3D modeling and sculpture, because you're basically doing 3D modeling or sculpture with it. Hey, Footlong. Hey, I missed your resubscribe this morning. Just want to say thanks once again. Getting the general shape is probably that. And the jaw. I should probably set up a plumb line, but I'll do that next time. Yeah, I'm doing good, doing good. I finally sold some old guitars I'd never play anymore today. It took like 3 hours at Guitar Center. This is totally stupid. Yeah, I should set that up. So I have this plumb line. It's basically got a weight on it. And what that does is it helps you kind of like, if you draw a line down the center of your paper, you put that there, kind of helps you figure out where stuff's at. So I'll have to do that before the next session. Okay, so I'm guessing and the head is kind of aimed down, so let's kind of get that like that, which makes this side shorter. Yeah, that's true. The way to think about this style of drawing is like you're feeling it. which will generally help you if you have a hard time kind of seeing in 3D. Okay, so then the head here. If I'm going to put the eyes, that's kind of an odd angle because the ear is kind of more. It's like the head is tilted away like that. Which means that the nose is kind of more down here. And now the eyes are gonna be more there. Yeah, like that. Something like that. I'm gonna get too into that right away. Okay, so if that's there, we can kind of put the ear out there. Kind of say there's a general hairline like this. About like that, and then the hair. Yeah, I might need the erasers. I have a gum eraser, but it is now a solid rock eraser. I haven't used it for a long time. So I ordered some more. Okay, that's the basic idea. Okay, I feel like this part of the head should come down here. Seems like it's in the generally right place. This charcoal stick has kind of a rough spot. Let's do that. Okay. I'm kind of approaching this like a portrait painter, but really it's on the side, so. Okay. Let's get the ear shape down. Let's clean it up a bit. Anybody got some video games they're into lately? Okay, so if the eyes are about here, and the brow is there, the other one is like this. Can't really see that eye. That brow bone. Okay, and then kind of from here, I think the hairline is like here. Yeah, about like that. Keeping it, you want to keep it real kind of loose and rough. It's a lot easier to kind of, one, actually figure out if it's right. Like if you got the proportions right, and also easier to fix it. You can just kind of erase it, not worry. That chicken human head? Yeah. You want to see it? The chicken human head. There you go. It's a classic cast. I believe it's like something of a Chinese girl. It's been around since like the 1890s. They most likely did a cast of either a sculpture or a face mask of a Chinese woman. I have another one that's an old man. I think it's supposed to be some famous philosopher like Plato or some shit like that. But probably it was just like some old French dude and they did a sculpture of him. Or no, it's actually, I think, a woman. No. It's an old person, so it could be a male or a female. Well, yeah, this one broke off, so. Car release, just usual. Let's see. You've been playing Grounded? Nice. Yeah, that game looks like fun. How about that news of Microsoft finally realizing that they own both companies that do Fallout, and people like one of the companies to do Fallout. So I saw the news that Obsidian is going to do the next Fallout game, and I'm like, wait, Microsoft bought Obsidian? And then I'm looking at it, I'm like, holy crap, they had Obsidian just sitting around. They could have taken Fallout from Bethesda and given it to Obsidian the way people like, and they just never did. I'm like, are you crazy? I would love to have been in that meeting. Oh, that would have been the best meeting in the entire universe. Okay, so I think we're kind of up here. Okay, this has to come in to about there, I think. Yeah, let's try that. You only like one game by them? Obsidian, right? Knights of the Old Republic. Hey, they've done a bunch of games that are super good, but when people talk about Fallout, they love Fallout New Vegas. That's considered like the very best one ever made. I haven't played it yet. I gotta sit down and actually play it. Okay, so then it comes to about, I'm going to say the corner of the eye is there, so that's there. Now then there's sort of a shadow here to there. Even though you can't see it, I'm trying to get the internal structure a bit. Now where's the mouth then? I personally love Fallout 4. I think Fallout 4 is great. But I'm also kind of like a survival crafting guy, not so much an RPG guy. And I think people who like Fallout, they like RPGs, so that's one of the reasons why they generally don't like Fallout 4. Like I like, you know, crafting and doing the... I don't think I've actually beaten Fallout 4. I think I just go in and I like build a bunch of settlements and run around the world and make a weird ass build. I think the mouth is more down, like that, from nose to there. Then there's a lower lip component about right there. Oh, this paper is so much better. So much better. Never played the Fallout games. They're extremely good. Yeah. I think they're kind of hard for people to get, though. You have to think, actually, I think this is a general theme with a lot of games, is people don't understand that they're magical realism. So not necessarily realistic, right? Because super realistic is boring. So whenever you hear people complain about like, oh, well, it has magical candy. It's like, yeah, it's a magical realism game, right? Like if it's totally real, it wouldn't be as interesting. I mean, you want totally real, go play like Car Wash Simulator or something. But I think next on my list is I want to play the Stalker series. That looks fantastic. Stalker Gamma, but I think people have said that you should play the others first. Think about like that. And I think this has to go... yeah, a little bit back more to make the ear kind of fall back. You keep restarting Fallout 4? Yeah, it's one of those games where like, I don't know. It's very sandbox, right? I don't think you really finish sandbox games. So there's like a story element that, you know, a lot of people... it's pretty, yeah, it's pretty campy and weird. But I always thought of Fallout 4 as it's just a sandbox game. You jump in, you run around, you do all the missions and build settlements and chill out, and then, yeah, like I said, I never really beat it. I just like have a lot of fun just dorking around. Really, I just play it for dog meat. I fucking love dog meat. So then it's only barely visible, so I'm just going to sort of indicate it. Okay, and then this has to come down more. Yeah, more to there. More like that. Let's take a look. How are we doing? Let's do this. Yeah, kind of close. I always remember the camera is kind of a fisheye lens that I have, so it sort of does a little bit of distortion. But also, I need to work on my drawing, so that's why we're doing this. Right now, that lady reminds me of the author from Sweden named Selma Lagerlöf. Dog meat is best boy. Yeah, I love dog meat. Like, pretty much, I don't like any companions except for dog meat, Kate, and Strong. So I don't do the other ones. I think the other ones are boring. I like Kate's story, and I think Strong's just funny. Everyone else is just lame. Kate's got a really good story. Okay, let's lay down some shadow. Kind of have something to work against. But I really should play Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. Yes, the light is over here, actually, so it's coming down this way. So that's why the shadow is kind of like this. And then it goes off into the distance. I want to say it's a little close here. about like that. Now you don't really have a horizon you can see, but I'm gonna add one in real quick. You enjoyed 3, only one of them I actually finished the story. The other 2 I just got busy with life and put it down. Yeah, totally. And Fallout 4 is really huge and lots of complex stories, so. Now there's a hair tie back there, like a pigtail, but I think I'll hold off because it might fit, it might not. It looks like just kind of like a nub. Yeah, see it back in there? So it might be like confusing to add it in. Okay, and we should bring... I feel like this should be flatter. And now bring the ear down a bit. No, actually, yeah, the ear is kind of like that. Yeah, let me redraw that totally. Because it kind of comes up off your ear. Okay, don't get into the details. Okay, just going for basics. Okay, and then this is here. Okay, so now I'm going to start modeling the mouth, which looks like I kind of got it positioned wrong, so let's redo that. So off here. And then from that, seems to be about the right spot. Okay, we'll get this basic shadow. But don't do details, don't do details. Okay, it comes down. This is shadow, this is shadow. Yep, lines up with that. Okay. That and this. Okay, and then the nose. And then here. This angles back more. I'm getting a little confused about what's where. Hold on. I think I need to put a bit of tone in. Oh, so much better. This paper is so much better. Okay, so this is light. Let's get that there, and then need to shape it a bit like this. Okay, and then up here, so this has to be light. That's still very hard. Okay, what am I looking at? What am I looking at? Okay, yeah, so from here, and the bottom of the lip is there. Okay, that looks really wrong. Okay, we'll go with it for now, but I might be at a point where I need an actual eraser, not a paper towel. Okay, bring this here. Yeah, let me see if I can get a little bit of this out. I paint the shadow red. Let me shape that highlight on the lip. That needs to be lighter, but we'll go with it for now. Okay. Okay, and this is about there. Okay. Yeah, it might be at the point when right, I'll see if I can get this basic shadowing. And actually, well, we'll see. Okay, so then okay, so that comes across there, the eye is there. And then this is kind of from here to here. So normally you wouldn't try to shade it in, but I'm kind of treating this like a practice sketch. Normally you'd try to get this line there, you get the outer shape as good as you can. And then you get this basic, what's called the shadow line. Okay, and then the eyeball part. Now, is that about right? Yeah, it's kind of up in line with that. And then this, let's merge those together. I feel like this is smaller. Yeah, I want it to be about like that. Okay, and then this is the eyebrow. Okay, and it's gonna about like that. Now I'm confused here. There's all, this is there, and this is like this. Yeah. Yeah, it's tough to keep track sometimes. Okay. All right, now let me get this one. Okay, we're just gonna do the yeah, that comes across here. Now the tough part is keeping track of okay. Okay, and then the forehead. So this charcoal is what they call a vine charcoal. It's very, very soft. So you use it, kind of get the initial shading sort of in. But if I were to use this to do the background and that shadow, we'd be here for like 40 hours. So tomorrow I have charcoal powder coming. And then you just take these little, they're like makeup sponges. Have you ever seen those? And you just blast it in and then you're ready to go. Way easier. Okay, we'll go that far. I didn't want this to be so dark, but that's fine. Okay, now this is her eyebrow. Okay, so I gotta fix this. This is the eyelid. Eyebrow is kind of more up and down. Yeah, more like that. Okay. Isn't that cool? This looks so cool, right? Like you just have basically a shape and then you put a shadow and you're like, holy shit, that's a face. It's like, it's so weird. Okay, this pisses me off. Let's just sort of dab that down a bit. Go. Basically the charcoal just came off real strong right there. Okay, so that's where the hair is. Okay, now we have hair here. That should be. Okay, and then it's kind of falling away here. So what are we gonna do? Think about like that. All right, where's mine? This one. Okay, and then like that, and then through here we can kind of okay, that's the start. Now then, looking at it, okay, we need the eye to be a little better defined. Okay, now the next step would be to, let's get the shadow in a similar state, but darker. So now the eye is right here. Yeah, let's get a look. Alright, it's closer. It reminds you of that emote. What emote is that? Mr. Kappa? I have no idea who that is. I'm kind of late to Twitch. Okay, Okay, so that's all the detail I kind of want on it. Kappa is one of the most famous emotes. Is it like there was a person who was in it? Okay, so we have the mids. Now, let me see if I can... Like I said, I'm just doing more of a sketch than anything, so... Let me see if I can... I don't know if I can. Let me lift out like a little bit of reflected light here and there. But I feel like I've sort of lost the drawing throughout here. Yeah, I think at that point I've kind of lost the drawing. So we're just going to go with it. We'll say that I did a bang up job of that one shadow. Yeah. And also I would need to make the back darker because otherwise this is not going to look right. So this has to be very dark, and then this will make up like kind of the gray edges. But let me do... Let me just do a little bit of this. Yeah. Now, is that coming through? It's interesting because the camera makes it way wider than it actually is. I think I have some like HDR setting I need to go change. How's it look? Yeah, and then so normally you would do the little bit of highlight later. What you would do is you would get this background in very black, and then you could very slowly turn this, is what they call it. Kind of like think of turning it on like a lathe or with a chisel. So, but to do that with what I got here, I can't quite do it because if this isn't dark enough, so it'll always just look like everything is very dark. Yeah, so like this is... What is some of this pencil holder? It's Josh DeSano, a former employee from Justin TV. Oh, okay, nice. Okay, so we're gonna try to turn the head a bit. And also, I believe, yeah. So this is a very hard charcoal. And then there's a couple of like little bits of light where the hair is, but I don't know if I can pick it out. Let me see if I can. Kind of like that. And then this. Now let me see. A little too soft. Okay. Oh, this ear is supposed to kind of do that. Okay. There we go. What is that? And then let's kind of use a paper towel to sort of harder charcoal. Okay, and then I don't want to exaggerate too much, but so that's the lightest part of the whole thing. And this is also pretty light. And then it's not very light through here, just the side of the face where the eye. There. I need to put this into a pencil holder. I use these pencil holders because this is actually pretty far away from my hand. So I have to like lean in, but if I use this pencil holder, I can sit back like a Harry Potter wand for drawing. You want to buy a canvas? Oh yeah, those are decent, man. I have an XP pen tablet. It's good. Okay, and then that's just gray. So then let's take this here. So then what you're trying to do is you're trying to round the form. I'm probably gonna half-ass the ear for now. It definitely looks wrong. Okay, coming along now, we need to use the harder pastel. That's very, very hard. Hold on. That's very, very hard. I think that's not normal. Okay, that should be better. I don't even know if any pigment's coming off. Okay, and then kind of blend this down a bit. Okay, cool. Hair's close to what I want. I need to turn this. Yeah, there was like just a very hard section of that charcoal stick. I love that shit. Oh, I love that shit. Okay, so yeah, so this needs to be kind of more mid and come around. Now, I think I got this shape kind of wrong. But we'll go with what I got. Okay, and then let's see if I can roll the next one. I bought a cheap thing that was so bad I could not use it with 2 monitors. Is this on Windows? I'm gonna say it's a Windows thing. Windows is notoriously bad. Well, no, I mean, yeah, Mac OS. Every OS is notoriously bad with 2 monitors, man. Oh my god, just don't even get me started. They're so bad. That's more like it. so then let's see if we can model some of this reflected light that's in here, which is kind of like the best part. So, like along here. Yeah, let me kind of draw it out with paper towel. And then reshape it with, I'm gonna say this one. Yeah, so see how that nose looks like it's got a reflection? Yeah, but then this needs to be very dark. Okay, and then let's I noticed this really weird thing when I was studying art. You'd have these classical realist artists, and they would always keep saying things like, there's no information in the dark. So they would just draw these very nice drawings, like very, very realistic, but like no reflection like that of like the light kind of being different inside the shadows. It was weird. It was almost like they couldn't see it. Like they had some sort of like brain malfunction. It was really strange. And so I would do drawings where like I'm including the reflected light and things like that. I'm like, no, don't do it that way. That's not what it looks like. And I'd be looking, I'm like, are you sure? Because you can see, like you could totally see. Look at the bottom of the nose. But this is kind of how they saw it. So notice how like there's not a lot going on inside the shadow. Well, it's just because that's how cameras work, right? They kind of, it's the same with your eyes. So what happens is when you look up here, your iris, right, your eye literally clamps down or open depending on how much light is coming in, just like a camera. So when you look here, your eye clamps down. So what that does is makes it so you can see what's in the light. But that means that no light is entering your eye. Less light is entering your eye, so this looks very dark, okay? But then if you point your eye down here at the dark part, your eye is like, oh, there's not a lot of light coming in, and like opens your pupil up so that you can see what's in there. So if you want to do a drawing that looks super 3D, you have to do kind of like these little bits of reflected light and inside there. And when you look at the real thing, and there's a lot of color and like light shadow variation and stuff like that, and that's what made it look real. And theirs were always weird, as if like they did a photo of only the light part and couldn't see the dark part. It was really strange. And I always wondered if there's like some weird like brain problem going on that makes them think they can't see this. Like it was totally odd. Like if you ever see a classical realist drawing, you know what I mean? You'll know exactly, but like, oh yeah, wait, why is there nothing in the shadows? And they're just like really weirdly obsessed with it. I couldn't figure out why, and I'm like, what are you talking about? There's totally light reflecting from this into that. Like, no, no, there isn't. What? So I was like, I was always very confused. And it gets to a point where, like, if enough people keep saying that within, like, the genre, then they believe that, right? Okay, well, I don't want to fuck around with this too much. Okay, so when the charcoal powder comes tomorrow, I think what I'll do is I'll debate putting the pigtail in, but just to sort of like test, I'll paint in everything that's supposed to be very dark, like the shadow in the background, and then we'll render the floor and the rest of the head. And you'll see what I mean when I say it's tough to get the head turning, you know, looking 3D when the head and the background have it like the exact same value level. So yeah, then we'll maybe we'll just draw it again. Okay, cool. All right, everybody, that's it for charcoal drawing tonight. I'm gonna go knock off and go back and work on my latest project. Hopefully you had a good time. Yep, you too. And as usual, I will raid you into some kittens. All right, everybody, I got the stuff. So let's take a look at the painting. I mean, drawing. And look at the gear. Right, so I got some charcoal powder. This will last like a year or more if you draw every day. Really cheap, like $8. And these are basically makeup sponges. I thought about just getting some makeup sponges, but these have particular shapes. So you dip it in some of that powder, and then you can paint in like backgrounds very quick. You can use it to sort of like soften stuff. And I got some more erasers. Very important. Lets you kind of actually do some drawing more than fix things. I got that. And the classic tortillons. And these are used for like blending and other effects. Let's see if I can open this. So that is the paper stubbers. That I'll open with my big ass Leatherman. And various shapes. Lots of toys to play with when you do charcoal drawing. Pastel is way simpler. So with these, you kind of have to prime them a bit, but basically they're just paper, and you can come in and kind of blend things out, blend things across. Like that. All right, so we're going to do that. I'm going to basically blast in a background, and let's make sure we know what we're drawing. As close to this. Remember, I use like a fisheye lens. And that's about it. Okay, let me see. It may take me a bit to remember how to use these. And then I think I'll do the drawing again once I kind of know how this, remember how this stuff works. Oops. All right. Keep those over there. All right, first off, I wonder, I could find his port right here. All right, let me see. So these all have kind of different shapes. Let me think. Let's try it. Guess that's one way. I wonder if... Hey, Basil, how you doing? Let's try just a plain old paper towel, I think. Yeah, applying it with paper towel might be better. Sort of. Let's try this one. Oh, I think that's what I gotta do. Yeah, okay. Just trying to get a nice dark background. Quicker than with the charcoal sticks. And then you go over it with the charcoal sticks to kind of refine it. way easier. And then let's, oops, do not spill that. Yeah, let's use this to kind of get more mid-tone over there and over here. Sort of the leftovers. Okay. Now, let's use the tortillon. And we can yeah, that's gonna be way better. Okay, first let me kind of augment the background some. This one. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that should go down a notch. Way easier, yeah. Okay, we're gonna get this all. Yeah, way nicer. I think there's some kind of odd HDR setting on my camera. So I gotta sort that out at some point. Now, there's a pigtail of hair back there. What I'm gonna do is this. Yeah, that works. All right, give my shoulder a break. And so the reason I want to make the background pretty dark is it gives me more to work with here. I can now make this kind of darker and it'll look more 3D. Okay. Now, what happens when I use you? You kind of do the wrong thing. Okay. All right, let's take the bigger stubber. Let's kind of get it primed up a bit. Just kind of working away any of the obvious variation patterns. Yeah, better. There we go. Okay, that's more what I want. Yeah, that smooths it out. And we can start doing like yeah. And then let's see if I can, yeah, a bit of softening there. How about here? Alright, I'm not going to obsess over it. I'm just trying to even it out some. Okay, great. Okay, now, do I want to erase? Oops. That could work, yeah. Okay. But then I'd have to very erase. I haven't really modeled the ear much. Just kind of carve it out, and we'll deal with it in a minute. Okay. It's not quite that shape, but it's good enough. Okay. Okay, hair, cut it back there. And then we have to really make this like a light trap. Okay, there we go. Now this we need to refine some. Okay, so that, let's get this. Kind of make that edge pretty soft. Okay, now I sort of lost the chin. I think that's good. Alright, refining the shadow as much as possible. Okay. Now, we take our stubbers and blend those down a bit. Yeah, so that's what we gotta do for the next part. However, this has to be... even out more. I gotta measure the camera. I think about there is good. All right. Okay, cool. All right, now I just blend these down. So I have something to work with. Okay, so right there. Okay. And the idea with these paper stubbers is don't press too hard, because you'll you get rid of the tooth on the paper. Yeah, way better. I kind of just want to blend across here. Okay, I need to... That kind of goes into the distance. So it disappears. Man, it's rough on my shoulder. Oh, I think I have. Hold on. This is messing with me. That one. Ah, there we go. Okay, I want to do too much refinement. We're just trying to get the shadow in. And kind of blend it down so I have something to work with. And can make adjustments. nice. How are we doing on the music? Too sleepy? Not sleepy enough? Okay. All right. Isn't that cool? How your like brain just kind of like invents thing inside here. And it's actually really kind of flat in there. I think I can't handle piano music. Let me change it. That sounds too much like Away in the Manger. Christmas song. Oh, that didn't pick a genre. There we go. Yeah. Also, by the way... Hi. Okay, cool. Okay, so... can you even see me when I work? Kinda. I have to lean forward quite a lot. Okay. You know, say if you really like debugging, taking apart like balls of string and cables, I think drawing is like really somewhere, some kind of brain feel. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. Alright, let me see. So if we're going to refine that lower part, this can be merged down quite a bit. This can be brought up too. Now I don't want to go too much inside there. Just sort of give a feeling of going down. You always run the pieces of paper like this. How's that look? That's pretty good. Now it's pretty dark in here. Okay, and then we can kind of get the impression of... I think this will work. I'm going to use this to sort of lift a little bit. And then along here. Okay, so that's all really to do with the head and shadow. Let me make it sit more here. Yeah, that'll work. And then there's kind of a halo around here. Hey, Carly's. Your friends are one of those. Oh, you're one of those ones who Untitled Chapter? Yeah, me too. Yeah. I mean, unless I got to use it, and I'm super pissed. Don't OCD it. Alright, let's step back. Here needs some work. Let's see if we can roll the head. And I think what I'm going to do is let's use a small one. So it's kind of like a pencil. Yeah, so this has to be darker. Let me see what we get. No. Okay, so I'm gonna have to do some charcoal. I think the green one is what I want. See now, because everything behind it is dark, we can make this darker so it looks like it turns. Yeah, see? Now, in a way, the camera's a little too low. Yeah, it's about more like it. I get that feeling of hair. And this kind of needs to roll a little bit more. little bit of light that hits right there. And also here. I don't really want to over-exaggerate it. Let me see what I can do. Yeah, just like that. I don't want to erase it out, but I might need to. Because then it's too bright, right? Let me take this guy. This is like a very hard pastel. I mean, charcoal, so knock it down a bit. Take a little stubber. Okay. Now, more of the hair. It's kind of... This has to come up. I still think this is way too light. Yeah. Okay. Step back, take a look. Yeah, not bad, not bad. Okay, then we got the cheek, and then we can bring up the brow. This plane right here is directly facing the light, so we can use white to kind of bring that up. But it won't take a lot. Okay, let's... This here is fairly dark. And also here. And... But this is pretty light. Okay. Okay, now let's roll this. this. I hate this song so much. And that's good, but now we have to start rolling the cheeks. Yeah, so then these can all be far more gray. Okay, now to do this, you have to be pretty subtle. So use a much harder pastel. Because it's farther from the light. And every time you use these papers, you always have like weird little kind of texture things. Where like, you know, one side just kind of looks like a line because it gets more pastel. So you just have to kind of even it out. Okay, and then this has to be I can't really see where that is. The cheek is a little sharp, but I can't quite see where the charcoal is. Hold on. And then blend it. And it's pretty light through there, so. Okay, now how are we doing on the nose? Nose needs to be rounded here. It's too much. Yeah, so I'm going to cut out. My nose shape is pretty different. I don't know why. I got kind of a weird mental problem with noses. Not very good at them. I spent years studying just noses. Okay, there. Yeah, it's a bit better. Let's see if we can refine. Now the tip of that nose is actually broken, which is kind of messing with me because it sort of does have this shape. This tip here is kind of flat. let's see if I can add a bit more shape to this. There. And then there's reflected light in the nose up here. It reflects into I gotta make sure I know what I'm looking at. There. Oh, wrong end. Oh, that kind of worked. Already lost my stubber. There it is. Okay. And this is pretty dark. It kind of goes. Alright, what do I think of that? It's pretty close. It's pretty good. Now around the mouth, it's very dark. Now this is pretty square through here. Kind of want to... I think it's too late to redraw it. Let's see what we can do. This will end up being too bright. Okay, and then roll it a little bit. This feels like the kind of song you'd have in a Hallmark movie remake of a popular romantasy novel. How we doing? It's pretty good, but this does need to go down. Some. Better. Better, better. Okay, now this. It's like that. There's a bit of shaping up there, but you don't want to over model it. Okay, and then here it's got a similar setup. These can be pretty dark. Oh, this one. I don't know where the tip is. I might have to sharpen this in a second. Now the eye. Now it's actually kind of shaping the eye up. Yeah, that's what the concept is. So I need to erase out a little bit there. And then refine that. And then smooth it down some. And then this whole edge is a bit soft, so you kind of... That's what I get when I say roll an edge. So when you do the drawing, like if you watch the one I did yesterday, you do a line where that shadow is, right? And you fill the shadow in. But between the line and the light part, it's not straight. It's not like sharp. So what you do is you kind of like take the edge and you kind of blend it in one direction, sometimes both. What we're trying to do is create a mid-tone basically that rolls the edge over so it looks 3D. So you start off with your edges looking like this and you're trying to make them do that. So in pencil, it's a royal pain in the ass. Like it's a real pain in the ass, but in charcoal, it's really easy. Okay, now in here is an eye. And I'm not sure. Yeah, mine's in a kind of a different position-ish. But let me see if I can... that. And then it goes a bit like this. And then like this. Okay, so then the only thing would be... This is high risk, but... like... That's basically an eraser. Fantastic. Told you it's high risk. Okay, then let's... Yeah, I'm a little confused where the eye is, so we're just going to pretend it's in there somewhere. Okay, and then this edge is actually very sharp right here. I need that to be real crisp and real light. Where the light kind of hits directly where, like, basically the eyelid would be. And also up here. Okay, so let's get that sharp. Okay, now this needs to roll more. Okay, so we got the ear, which I'm going to be like, fuck it. But let's use, okay, so now I'm going to do a tiny bit of white. We don't want to go crazy with it. It's basically like just where the light hits directly. And the idea is we're kind of there and here. And definitely here. So that's too much, I think. But we can tone it down some. And then right here, there's this crease that curves right into the light. And then some here. Tiny bit here. And then a bit here. Here. And then across the face here. Okay, now. Yeah, there's a weird HDR setting on my camera. I gotta find it. It is not that pixelated, trust me. Is it the ISO? No. Yeah, it's just really kind of like focusing on the contrast. Yeah, because like this part is not nearly that bright. Okay. Hey, Aptic, how you doing? Thank you. Okay, now let me see if I can use a stubber. These might be dirty. Might need to like mark them as white or not. Yeah, and then this. And that kind of, same kind of idea, rolling that in there. Now, white chalk, you have to use it sparingly, and it's also really delicate, so you can't really blend it the same, it just goes away. Okay, and then I feel like here. A tad bit, because it's facing that light source. The light source is over here, basically. Yeah, that works. Okay. Now for the ear. Let me do a little bit back in here. Okay. The big stubber. Okay, pretty good. Let me see. Anything bugged me? Yeah, over here. Let's blend this together. I don't want any really obvious edge over there. If you want to improve your art a lot, make color and edges difficult to identify. Some more gray. Look for places where like the edge of this and this kind of disappears. So make them like not clearly separated. Make colors more towards the gray. That's something I have to work on because like I can look and see exactly what the color is, and some things okay, that ear is calling me, but also well, we gotta watch the time. Okay, we're good. Yeah. Okay, so then that. I want it to be a sharper edge here. But the struggles piss me off. Okay, I gotta do this one. Yeah, so we can't really have any variation back in here, so this needs to be really just kind of manually refined. Right, that's how dark it should be. Let me see if I can get away with this. Let me see. Can I charcoal powder you? You can be mean to me. I'm gonna cut you, sponge. It's being mean to me. God damn it. Fuck that sponge. You can make up sponge, I think. It ruined the whole thing. Right now, I'm planning on half-assing the ear because I'm mega suck at ears, and I think I should just do. You can buy a cast of just an ear. I should do that. Would y'all be cool with ear guy summer? Nothing but ears for a whole month. Okay, so that's kind of what we need. Okay. There we go. Now I could go further, but it would just piss me off. I'd be here twiddling with pixels. So let's see if we can paint in an ear that's reasonable. I'll use a stubber. Okay, so now let me get, maybe I should learn the names of the anatomy. That might help. Okay, so like right here is this piece. There. Okay. And then back here, it's another piece. My skill's so strong? Oh, maybe. I need to work. It's close enough. So the trick is, it just has to be close enough that it works on its own. So if you look at the actual photo, it's close. Now remember the camera is like fisheye, so it's like a little different than what I see. And so then when you look there, close enough, right? That's what you're shooting for. Okay, and then we can kind of another great thing about charcoal is it's pretty safe. You can, I mean, don't get in your eyes. Never get any art stuff in your eyes. But if you do, just a general rule of thumb. But if you like accidentally eat some, you'll live. It'll be not a problem. Might make you poop a bunch. Some people eat charcoal. Like if they're really sick, it's actually a good way to get rid of like certain sickness, certain bacteria and stuff. But the problem is it also kind of kills everything else in your stomach. So anyways, charcoal is great. You're not really gonna mess anything up if you get it on your hands and whatnot. It is annoying though. Okay. Close, close, close. So you see, now that I have the background there nice and dark, now I'm able to kind of make this dark and kind of roll it. I'm going to fade that in, and then I really want to make this line go away. Yeah, there we go. That makes me happy. And then let's just, so one of the things you can do, right? You take your eraser and you make a little point, and then all these little annoying dots, you just basically OCD the shit out of them. Like that. And there you go. That's lighter. Okay, and then I need to do, it has kind of like a band like that. Okay, now I kind of want this. Like that. And then stubber. Food grade charcoal is also used for black dye. That doesn't have an odd flavor. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is art charcoal. I mean, I can't imagine they're making it with anything horrible. But imagine, yeah, food grade charcoal. Oh, the drawing? Yeah, charcoal's very fast, man. But also did another hour and a half yesterday. But that's one of the reasons why charcoal is really nice, because, like, you know, you want to learn to draw, right? When you use pencil, you know, you want to learn to render, right? And kind of get your drawing down and render it. That's how you also learn painting, right? So charcoal is pretty close to painting. When you use pencil to get this exact same here, or to fill this, you just here for decades. Just and it still is never really dark enough. You don't have enough range. So charcoal is like really the best medium if you want to kind of learn to draw so that you can paint. But it's also just a really beautiful medium. Like you can make extremely good charcoal drawings. I never really liked pencil rendering. Like pencil drawing, sketching, that's great, but pencil rendering, sitting there for like literally years. I know people who worked on a pencil drawing for a year. I worked on a pencil drawing for like 6 months. I hated it. Every inch of it was terrible. I mean, no, it came out like really good, but like every aspect of the process was awful. Okay, I'm getting fiddly. All right, that ear is making me cry. Okay, we're going to kind of imply that this person has an ear instead of just whatever the fuck I've drawn. Okay, so that's the earlobe. Can it make the ear like too big? I feel like it might be, but I don't know. Now let's get the impression there, and then if I think the deal is this is tripping me up. Yeah, that's what we need. Okay, now we can use a stubber to kind of draw. Okay, now this ear needs to kind of roll this way. Like that. And then not roll. It kind of has to face the light here. Yeah, it's one alien looking ear, man, but we'll go with it. We'll say she has elephantitis. Okay, and then... yeah, I should learn the anatomy of the ear. I think that would help. Because I have no name for this thing there. I'm just drawing shapes. When I draw the other parts of the head, I kind of know what everything is. Okay, now, I don't particularly like how dark this is, so let's kind of buff it up a little. Yeah, it's too dark here. Like that, okay. Okay, and then like this. Okay, maybe close enough. I'm sure someone who's good at anatomy will be like, that's fucking wrong. Well, hey, I'll go with it. Okay, now, how does one learn? It depends on who you talk to. I call it rendering. I think a lot of people who do this style of drawing, they would say rendering or turning the form. And then if you are more of an illustrator, I think they say rendering or shading. Okay, and then okay. So the way you learn this is first you learn how to draw the light and the dark sides. You have the light and dark shapes. I won't say sides, but shapes. And then once you can do that, so just the lines for where the shadow is and where this is, and it looks like it's accurate, right? Then the next thing you work on is how to turn the form. So what that means is you'll have like a line that's like this, right? And then you have to figure out how to make that line turn. Which isn't too hard. And then it's about inside shape. So inside the light part, you try to find shapes inside that are very subtle. So we're not, and this is the trick that you have to learn. This here and this here are so close. We're talking like, I've just dusted it. We're talking just a kiss of charcoal. When you first start out, you can be like, oh, this is dark. And you're just going to blast charcoal in there. It's going to be totally wrong. So that's the skill you learn, is subtlety. That the difference between these two is like tiny. And even in here, you see the nose? See how it looks like there's light hitting the table and going in the nose? Okay, when you first do a drawing like this, you're going to make that way lighter. So you're going to do something like this. You're like, because when you look, if we look here, when you look inside here, right? When you point your eye down here, your eye basically opens wide up because it needs to see the light. It's just like a camera, right? So if you have a real dark scene, your camera is going to open up the lens. Well, what happens is when you do that, you look at this and then your eye is going to see this as extremely light, like way lighter than it is. But what you do is you go, no, this is the dark side. And in the dark side, I have dark darks and I have medium darks and I have light darks, but they never step outside of the dark side. So over here, you're not going to put this or even this. You're going to put a tiny shift of dark to make it a little lighter, or like a kiss of lighter. And you don't need a lot, just a little bit. And then suddenly people are like, oh, holy shit. That looks like that nose is glowing from the light hitting it. And so that's what you do, is you make, get the drawing part working, and then you learn to turn the edges of the shadows, and then you learn to do the inside of the shadows here, inside the light, with like just very little modeling. Like we're talking, you're turning this form a little bit, right? So all of your lights stay on the light side. So there is no like from here to here is not, this is light and that's dark. No, this is light and this is not as light. And so then just like trying to draw a bunch of shit and rendering it over and over and over, you do it. Also, practicing drawing spheres helps a lot. So learn how to make a sphere and then how all the parts of a sphere work. If you think about a head as basically a sphere, right? Okay. There's a couple parts that... Also, this camera is weirdly high contrast. I gotta go figure out if I got some like filter or some shit. It does not look that grainy at all. It's in there. Like if you were to look at the actual thing, you wouldn't notice anything there. It seems smoothish. A lot more smooth. Okay, so then let me just dust that off a bit. Okay, we give it more light. Can I do this? No. Let's do this. To get a better image of it. And then that'll let me. There we go. Yeah, 400 ISO is going to be good. That's better. That looks nice, so thank you. Okay, so I got the tools now. I keep putting my finger up there. Trust me, your backgrounds will annoy you forever. If you try to get rid of all the texture, you'll be there for decades. If you want to save money and you don't like texture, you can just buy newsprint. You can get like a massive pad of newsprint for like $15 and make really good charcoal drawings on it. But I kind of like the texture. Okay, looking at the photo, anything else kind of pisses me off? This sort of does. Okay. Okay, the ear is a little it's an ear. It's not going to win any awards. I gotta work on that. I think we're at Don't Touch It stage. Okay, cool. Alright, my friends. I think that is it for my drawing for the evening. Try and keep these sessions a little shorter. Shit. Fucked up. Hold on, I'm not done. Don't use your finger, man. I use my finger. I'm just lazy. Your finger is fine. Like, it's not like pencil. If you use your finger with pencil, the oils. Pencil is kind of already really oily. And then your finger just makes it worse. But charcoal is really dry, so it's more like pastel. You can use your finger. It's just not like the best. Okay, and then let me kind of... I'm gonna lift that up a bit. I can't remember which is like the hard charcoal. I don't think this is. I think there's just a part of it that's hard. The charcoal comes like pencils where you have like B, H. Goddamn halos. I hate them. That's better. Okay. No, one more. And everyone, cool. Well, yeah, we'll do, I think I'm going to just do a bunch of charcoal drawing to kind of get back into getting better at drawing. I got pretty good for a while, and then I let it lax. It's a skill for me that I have to practice all the time. It's not like color. I can do color in my sleep. We're drawing I work on constantly. Okay, gotta stop it. I could obsessively fix those things. No, one last thing. I feel like those are a little too strong. All right. Stop touching it. Thank you.